Good evening. I'm William Cooper, and you're listening to the Hour of the Time. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel James Bogreitz.
We're going to have perfect government. Perfect government is coming soon, and I'm looking forward to it.
What you have just heard, ladies and gentlemen, is the age-old dream of Mystery Babylon, the secret societies, Freemason, the Knights Templars, the Knights of Malta, the ancient order of the Rose and Cross, the age-old dream of a perfect government, permanent utopia upon this earth. What is Lieutenant Colonel James Bogreitz talking about, this 32nd degree Freemason of the Scottish Rite and member of the branch of Mystery Babylon known as the Mormon Church? What is he talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the subject of tonight's broadcast. It is known as the Secret Kingdom. Investigative reporter Jeffrey Kay concluded, quote, "The Mormon Church, this American Zion, wields more economic power more effectively than the State of Israel or the Pope in Rome," unquote. Actually, dear listeners, the word church is misleading when applied to Mormondom, for the power structure controlling its staggering resources is organized for the kind of absolute authoritarianism that one usually associates with a cult and not with a responsible church, nor are the ultimate goals of the Brethren compatible with the normal aims of Christian leaders. In fact, in no way, shape, or form can the Mormon Church be called Christian. They are essentially the same as those of cults in general, and especially those of secret revolutionary groups working toward a takeover of the world. As one former teacher at Brigham Young University has said, I quote, "The Mormons do intend to take over the world. There is no secret about that. It's in the writings of Joseph Smith right on down. The Constitution of the United States will hang by a thread, and the church will save it by establishing a theocracy, unquote. Any who think the Mormon kingdom is a democracy are under a delusion. In fact, it is a dictatorship ruled by its inner elite circle, a council of elders. As the front page of the Wall Street Journal recently said, quote, "Today, from their 28-story marble and glass," unquote, church headquarters building in Salt Lake City, Mormon church leaders oversee a vast and growing world financial empire, unquote. From these offices, their dictatorial control reaches out to every church level and into every facet of Mormon life. Whatever vote there seems to be at the ward, stake, and individual levels is part of a cleverly contrived illusion that continues to deceive millions of Mormons into imagining that they actually have some say in church affairs. Although they do have the freedom to disagree with their leaders, to do so means excommunication and damnation. Excommunicated for openly disagreeing with the Brethren's position on ERA, Sonia Johnson has said this, quote, "The Mormon Church has become more powerful than we dare believe. It's downright terrifying, especially when you see how rich and influential it is. I really think if we could ever get an investigation, it would uncover something so like Watergate, it would blow everything wide open," unquote. Totalitarian theocratic communism seems to be the goal. Saints Alive was recently involved in some litigation arising out of a physical attack upon one of its missionaries by an LDS, or Latter-day Saints tour guide, on the street just outside Salt Lake City's Temple Square. In an interrogatory exchange, the surprising response by the Mormon Church revealed that it was an unincorporated association without assets. Let me repeat that. Without assets. All wealth and power is owned and controlled by the closely held corporation of the President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Incorporated. You see, folks, church members who have faithfully and sacrificially contributed their tithes, time, and energy are absolutely powerless to demand an accounting or to change a single action by the First Presidency, even if all 5.2 million of them stood up in unison and voted unanimously for it. The startling fact, folks, is that Mormon church members have no vote or participation of any kind in the corporate entity that controls Mormondom. They can sincerely perform their functions as bishops, elders, high priests, and Sunday school superintendents all they wish. But in the real world of legal ownership and raw power, they are only 5.2 million pawns, fools, if you will, subject to manipulation from the top. All of this is part of a secret kingdom that Jeffrey K. has called the, quote, invisible empire, unquote, and about which most Mormons have only the vaguest notions, if they have any notion at all. This theocracy is alluded to by Apostle Bruce R. McConkie. Quote, "Through this church and kingdom, a framework has been built through which the full government of God will eventually operate," unquote. That, quote, full government of God, unquote, involves what is known as, quote, united order, unquote. Revelations that came through Joseph Smith described it as a theocratic, communistic society. All property and income was to be given over to the control of the church and then distributed to everyone according to his need, as the Brethren defined it, so that, quote, the poor shall be exalted in that the rich are made low, unquote. Those who transgressed were to be put out of the church, in which case the property they had given into the treasury would not be returned to them. Serious problems prevented full implementation of the, quote, united order, unquote. You see, until now it never really worked. However, the Mormon Church still looks forward to the day when these revelations of God through the prophet will be fulfilled and Mormon theocratic communism firmly established worldwide. And that can only happen when the Church has taken full political power. When that